Mr. Page.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning. The Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City proceedings will begin. The board is now in session. If you're in possession of any type of electronic device, please place said device on the off or silent mode during proceedings. Mr. Chairman, the docket for today consisted of an AM docket and a PM docket. Reporting to you this morning that the PM docket, the entire PM docket has been canceled. All interested parties will be notified as to the new date and time of the scheduled hearing. The very first case on the AM docket.
Excuse me, Mr. Page, before you call the first docket, can I make an announcement, please?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Board is very pleased to announce that effective this coming Monday, that our good friend, Ms. Stacy Russell, has been appointed as the Assistant Executive Secretary of the Baltimore City Liquor Board. She's been functioning in that capacity since March of last year. It's done an excellent job. We're delighted we're going to have her great talents and abilities with us for the foreseeable future. So congratulations, Ms. Russell. Okay, Mr. Page.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Brittany Huff, 2223 Pub LLC, no trade name given, 223 Maryland Avenue. This is a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. An application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor license, Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license under Alcoholic Beverage Article 12-1603, small c, 5, and a request for live entertainment and outdoor table service. Please come forward.
Counsel?
Abraham Hurdle for 2223 Pub LLC, located at 2223 Maryland Avenue. With me is Brittany Huff, the sole licensee at this location. As the application indicates, this is one of these.
Before you go there, may I ask them to raise their right hands, please?
Sure.
Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you may proceed. I just wanted to make sure we had them under oath.
Absolutely. This is a new Class BD7 license. This is the first new BD7 license that's been applied for in, I'm not even sure how long. It's been possibly decades for new BD7s. Again, with me as a licensee, also with me is Mr. Kelly Cross, who is the head of the Old Goucher Neighborhood Association. I'm not sure if I got the exact title correct. Community Association, I apologize. Who is another integral part of these licenses being issued and the law being changed. As you're aware in the provided application, zoning is still a requirement. However, it does not have to predate the application for the liquor license. That is a special exception for these licenses in this area. So zoning will still have to be applied for at some time before the license can be issued. However, the application can go in prior to the zoning application. Ms. Huff has got, if I may proffer, several years' experience in the restaurant and bar industry. The need and desire for this license is shown by the fact that this is a special license, one of 4 special licenses created specifically by Joan Carter Conway, and specifically for this area, which is an up-and-coming area, hoping to see new development, kind of new life. This location has several different intricacies to it based on the floor plan. There's going to be a cafe, some outdoor seating. There might be some live entertainment. It shouldn't be every day. It should be pretty calm, quiet stuff, no live rock bands, nothing crazy. And the bar itself is a 2-story carriage house. At this time, we do not have any receipts or finalized estimates from contractors because we're still very early in the process, but I can ask Ms. Huff some questions about the cost that she predict that will go into it. She has talked to several different people, and work has started on the property to make those changes.
Okay. Ms. Huff, tell us what your plans are and what your projected opening date is and that sort of thing.
The project is at the beginning stages. The building needs a lot of work. So we've just started working on it, some of the exterior work, and we're hoping for spring 2018.
Okay. And what kind of estimates do you have for the work that needs to be done?
It's going to be well over $135,000. There's going to need to be electrical, plumbing work. The cafe space will need to be built. Right now, the outdoor work, the exterior wall's been torn down, but everything needs to be repaved. So we're anticipating doing a lot of work.
Is financing in place?
You don't have $135,000
No,
cash, correct?
no,
Yes, financing
not
is
yet.
in place.
Okay. Okay. Do the commissioners have questions?
I have none. So it sounds, based upon the law and based upon your testimony, just want to confirm this, that your investment would exceed $50,000?
You have to
Yes.
say yes on the. Or no on the
Yes.
record?
Yes.
Okay.
And I do note that we do have an email from your counsel, Mr. Hurdle, that says there's about $125,000 to be invested, so just want to make sure that that's.
Correct, yes.
And
Let
I,
me clarify, as those numbers kind of get more accurate, they always kind of trend upwards, unfortunately, in this industry.
and then, so I note that also that your location fits within the boundaries laid out in the statute that was just passed. I guess the last question I have, which may be better for Mr. Hurdle, is you had mentioned that you're opening in spring of 18. Is that right?
That's the goal.
That's the goal. If we issue a license today, will you be back for a hardship just based upon the timing?
And I can absolutely clarify that. So the issue is, no license will actually be issued today. Since it's a new license, the license isn't being issued, it's being approved.
approved.
And unlike a license that's transferred from one location to another, which does have to fall under that, what I would call 270-day rule at this point, as opposed to 180-day rule, the 270-day rule, a new license, you kind of lock it in place, and you kind of have I wouldn't say an indefinite amount of time, but there is no clarification as to that under the rules, from what I have seen.
180-day rule doesn't apply until the license issues. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
So unlike our typical,
We actually have one this later today, this morning,
Just
which is
one-
under 270 days. Yeah, and that would be, since it's a transfer from one owner to another, it has to happen within 270. In this case, since it's an issuance, it does not, which is the same, I think, for all B licenses as well.
thank you.
Thank you.
Anything further? I'm good. Okay. Anything you would like to add?
At this time, we'd like the license application to be approved.
Okay. On the basis of the materials that are contained in the application, including the new legislation passed by the General Assembly during its last session for this Old Goucher neighborhood for the new Class BD7 licenses, the testimony of Ms. Huff, and the proffers of counsel, I would vote to approve the license.
I second that approval.
I concur. Good luck.
Thank you, Commissioners. Will you be excused?
You may. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Mr. Hurdle.
No exhibits.
Michelle Min and Young Suk Min, KYFC LLC, trading as Jazz and Soju, 900 East Ford Avenue, Suite B-2. This is a Class B, a beer, wine, and liquor license. An application for a new Class B, beer, wine, and liquor license as authorized by 12-1604G3 small I. Capital investment must include $500,000 and at least 75 seats. Please come forward.
Counsel, will you identify yourself, please?
Good morning, sir. My name is Julia Min. I'm a detective with the Baltimore City Homicide Unit. I'll be translating for one party on behalf, and also ladies next to me is my family member, my wife, and my mom.
Okay. Can
And
I
I'll-
ask everyone then to raise their right hands, please?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, sir.
Should I swear the translator as well?
Yes, I think so.
Do you swear or affirm to faithfully translate from Korean to English and from English back to Korean to the best of your ability?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Will you tell us what's planned?
Well, my wife, Michelle Cho, now Michelle Min, has been in business for 19 years. She currently has 9 stores, mostly in New York City and New Jersey. And this will be her 10th store in Baltimore. She has another one planned for Bethesda area, which is be coming in possibly in April. I have some exhibits, photos of her existing.
Does your wife speak English?
She
Yeah.
does.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Limited, yes.
Okay.
So I do have some exhibits from her anchor stores from New York City.
Okay. And this is called,
The store that she has, she does not have one name. She has multiple names, but it is under one company. And I have an article from New York Times that was featured.
Yeah, my name is on there too.
Rooster Spin?
Yes,
Okay,
that's one in Jersey, Westville.
okay. Just-
As far as the requirement of $500,000, we believe that we do have a asset. Currently, she will invest approximately $650,000. And last 5 stores has gone up much as $2 billion because of the specific items that she requires as a design. If you look at those photos, on the left side, there is a albums. In one of the stores that is like maybe on Mano Mano, it's like 40,000, and it varies. The price varies from maybe $1 that she got from the flea market to some albums that cost $30,000, $40,000 that she purchased from Christie's. So,
And how many seats will be there?
we are expected
This one is 115.
115.
150?
115.
15, okay. And you're aware of the requirement that the daily receipts have to be 51% food sales? You
Yes,
are?
sir.
Okay. Do you have similar requirements in the other stores?
Yes.
Okay. And you manage this, ma'am?
Yes, I manage a couple stores.
How do you
yes.
manage 10 stores?
My sister is my family member, so helping me a lot. So
Okay, and how many people will you employ here
for this location, or are you
for this
overall?
location?
This location, I'm shooting for 25 people at least.
Okay, and when do you think it will be open?
I want to open tomorrow, but I can't.
Are you ready to open?
No, we're in the construction process right now. The building is finally ready. It's an Anthem House. So yeah, we're waiting to construction work. It's going to take probably 3 months, and hopefully I can open it December. Hopefully.
Okay. Do commissioners have questions? Commissioner Jones?
I do not.
Okay. Anything further that you would like to add?
No, sir.
And this is specifically authorized also by recent legislation from the General Assembly for this 46th District Alcoholic Beverages Act? Yes. Okay. So, the board taking notice of that and of the materials contained in your application, your testimony before us this morning, as well as the proffers from the applicant's husband, I would vote to approve the license.
I concur.
I concur. Congrats.
Thank
luck.
you. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Commissioners. Thank you.
I call exhibits for the record. Applicant Exhibit 1, 4 photos. Applicant Exhibit 2, New York Times article dated January 16, 2015. Thank you.
1 second, please.
Mr. Min.
Mr. Min?
You can see them.
Robert Gentry, Harbor Point Sandlot LLC, trading as Sandlot 1000 Wills Street. This is a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. An application to transfer ownership and location of a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license presently located at 1725-27 East Lombard Street to 1000 Wills Street, requesting live entertainment and outdoor table service. Please come forward.
Counsel?
Good morning. Stephen W. Fogelman on behalf of the applicant, Robert Gentry.
Good morning. Ms. Gentry, would you raise your right hand, please?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. All right, good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Commissioners. It's good to see you. We are here this morning on a liquor license transfer from Fells Point to Harbor Point. Mr. Robert Gentry is the Chief Financial Officer of the BD Development Group. He is the authorized person on the LLC for Harbor Point Sandlot LLC. This is a mostly open-air, 440 capacity facility. It will become a city park someday within the next 7 or so years, donated to the city of Baltimore. The space is currently being leased by the applicants. I have letters of support here from the president of the 1400 Lancaster Condominium Association, a letter of support from Michelle Pierce, the property manager of the Eden Apartments, Harbor East, although not within the strict boundaries of Fells Point, a letter of support from David March, the president of the Fells Point Residents Association. Furthermore, a copy of an email in support from an Arushi Sharma Frank, who lives at the Dock Street building. A letter of support from Evan Dougherty, the regional digital sales manager for Sinclair Digital, who's also a resident at 1305 Dock Street. And finally, a letter of support from Corinne Goldsmith, the property manager at 1305 Dock Street.
If you would like to make them part of the record, they'll be received.
Thank you, Madam Assistant Secretary.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So where we are, we're in an interesting situation because Mr. Gentry, who will oversee the financial aspects of the establishment, is also the CFO of Beatty Development. And in these cases, 1305 Dock and the residential properties I've described are the same residential properties that they're developing and marketing for residents to come to and live in Harbor Point. So obviously, if there were any disturbances to the neighborhood from the facility, that would actually impugn their ability possibly to bring residents there. So I believe there's a real holistic approach here and probably a good person to be the licensee on a liquor license.
Well, filling the void that Commissioner Moore usually does by visiting all these places. My wife and I recently visited the Sandlot and had a pleasant time there, so it looks like it's doing well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you could, can you explain, because I was not invited by the chairman or his wife to visit, but if you could explain the concept, please.
Well, an outdoor facility, we spread sand in all around the edge of the water, so we're trying to create like a water atmosphere as well. And then above it, there was a deck that was built, and then containers brought in to act as the bar and the restaurant kitchen area. We even bought a Airstream to serve frozen drinks as well. And then the tables were all set up to be shared, not to be individual tables, not like a beer garden, but more open for people to move around. Lights are strung up throughout, and then there's along the water area or the waterfront area, umbrellas that have been set up with beach chairs and things like that. And then we have games set up, because we're trying to bring in families as well. So there's
Seems to be attracting dogs as well.
dogs, yeah. Well, and the space is open for people to walk through as well. It's a promenade area that cuts right through the center of it.
Great.
And it's a safe area. There's 4 to 6 security guards that man the 3 entrance checkpoints. Additionally, they've got the waterfront partnership security. They've got their own Harbor Point security. It's a very secure area.
I will note that they card everyone, and then they put something on your wrist to make sure.
Even you?
Yes.
Oh,
even
wow.
me. Well, I wasn't flashing any badges or anything.
Well, to drink, you have to have a wristband.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, do the commissioners have questions?
Just one easy one. You probably stated how you do that already, but how did you serve the patrons?
At the bench tables, we now have waitress or waiter serving, but you can walk up to the bar and then you order your drinks and your food, and then they bring it out to you.
Okay. And the person who received must have the proper identification.
Yeah, it's through the having a
Wristband.
wrist. Yeah, you can't have a drink without a wristband.
All right, thank you.
So in closing, I believe there's a public need and desire, as evidenced by the letters in the file. De minimis impact on existing licensees, no deleterious effect on health, safety, traffic, welfare. So I'd ask you to approve.
And they've been operating on daily license?
Yes, they have. They've used one-day permits through Waterfront Partnership, which is a charitable organization.
Okay. If there's nothing further on the basis of the materials contained in the application, testimony received this morning, the proffers from counsel, and the exhibits, including letters and emails in support, we have no opposition. I would vote to approve the transfer.
I concur.
We too. Congrats. Best of luck.
Thank you
Yes,
very
good luck.
much.
See you all in a few minutes.
Come visit.
Thank you. Good to see you.
I call this exhibit for the record. Applicant Exhibit 1, email/letters of support, 6 total. Thank you.
Kanchanban Patel, Nancy Whitney, Belvedere Liquors, Inc., trading as Belvedere's Plaza Liquors, 5658 The Alameda. This is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. An application to transfer ownership. Please come forward.
Counsel?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. My name is Jay Yu, representing the petitioners, Belvedere Liquors, Inc., and the resident agent licensee applicant, Ms. Nancy Whitney, and Mrs. Kanchanban Patel.
Can you all raise your right hands, please?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Mr. Yu?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Patel is the son of Mrs. Patel, and Mrs. Patel is not that fluent in English, so he's here to help his mother interpret if the commissioners have any questions.
That's
and
fine.
also, Mr. Patel will be the manager of the premises. He'll be working there full-time with his mother.
What's his first name before we get ahead of ourselves?
Mr. This is how you spell it. First, Miss Whitney, Nancy Whitney, is a lifelong resident of Baltimore City. She's qualified as an applicant, resident agent applicant. She is registered voter, and she's a property owner. She has 1% interest in the corporation. She does have pecuniary interest in the corporation, and she's certified in alcohol awareness training. She's very aware. She's fully aware of the rules and regulations. In fact, she was a TIPS trainer.
I trained TIPS, Training of Intervention Procedures for Service of Alcohol in DC for, I don't know, 10 years, 8 years, something like that.
And she also has extensive experience running and operating and managing a business with liquor license, past 14 years, I believe.
I've actually tended bar for a few years, managed a nightclub in DC for 10, and have been in the restaurant since, so about 40 years total. And even had a liquor license for a short while in Howard County.
No problems with it?
No.
How about Mr. Patel? What's his background?
Mr. Patel, could you
yeah.
profile to the commissioners what you do and what experience you have pertaining to the liquor business?
Okay, I used to work for the liquor store for 3 years, and I have no problem at all for that liquor store. Then I also run the grocery store for her as well, and everything is running successfully so far.
Okay, and you're going to be there full-time, Mr. Patel?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the hours will be?
From 9 to 12 on weekends and 9 to 10 on weekdays.
Okay. Do commissioners have questions?
I have none.
Just one that comes to mind. Any other violations? I note that, I guess, Ms. Patel's husband, Mr. Patel's father, owns a liquor license in Prince George's County. Any issues with that establishment?
No, that she has no interest with that liquor store or nothing like that. Totally separate.
Does he have any violations?
Oh, no, there is no violation at all.
Thank you. And then lastly, just, Ms. Patel will have a 99% interest in this. Our records indicate she lives in, I guess, southern Prince George's County. Will that be an issue? She's responsible. This license is in Baltimore City. Will she be present? Will there be?
Oh, yeah, we are planning to moving into Baltimore City.
Okay.
As soon as we get the approval.
Okay. Thank you.
Just to mention, Ms. Whitney is a realtor, so she'll definitely help with that. And her schedule is very flexible, so she'll be at the store all the time helping them out.
Ms. Whitney does just about everything.
He's a jack of all trades.
Well, it's 66, I've been around a while.
If I may submit the alcohol awareness certificate for
You may.
all three.
They will be received. Okay, anything further?
Oh, yeah.
On the basis of the materials contained in the application, the exhibits which have been received, the testimony received, proffers from counsel, I would vote to approve the transfer.
I concur.
I concur.
Thank you.
Good luck.
the exhibits for the record.
Mr. Yu.
Applicant Exhibit 1, 3 alcohol awareness certifications. Thank you. Mr. Yu.
Lynette Hammond, Grown Folks Tavern LLC, trading as Grown Folks Bar, 3525 South Hanover Street. This is a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license, an application to transfer ownership. Please come forward.
Once again, good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioner. Stephen W. Fogelman on behalf of the applicant.
Good morning. Ms. Hammond, would you please raise your right hand?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, and good morning again. This is Lynette Hammond. She is a lifelong resident of Sandtown, Winchester, and she currently works at the Department of Veterans Affairs as a field examiner. Her family got into the restaurant business about 7 years ago, a very busy little place called Pennington Diner down in South Baltimore. She helped her family on and off with that business, and she's wants to have her own business now. She wants to operate a tavern and coffee house, and the 130 capacity, 85% on-premise consumption, 15% off-premise consumption. She is bringing some family members to work with her at the tavern. James Hammond, who's in the back, her brother and your cousin, and Dante Hammond, her cousin, who currently operates the Pennington Diner. She will be alcohol management certified. She understands, especially as a resident here in Baltimore City, that taverns can have the potential to be disruptive to the neighborhood, and she's no stranger to that. And she says she's going to run a tight ship there, and she'd like to have a chance to go into business for the first time in her life.
So, Ms. Hammond, tell us a little about your experience.
Running the business?
Yes.
Well, I'm on the sideline, mostly watching my cousin start up his business and just making sure that everybody's in line, everybody's doing what they're assigned to do, and just trying to make it work.
And keeping the books?
I'm keeping the books, yes, sir. I do books.
How about security? What are you going to do about that?
This is a family venture. I have a cousin who's an ex-police officer. He's also a security officer in the past for several venues around the city. So we're going to utilize all that we have.
You have a big family.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Lots of cousins.
Yeah, yes, we did. And this is all first cousins that are doing this.
Okay. Do the commissioners have questions?
Your first time doing this?
Yes, I'm scared, but I'm ready. I'm ready.
This piece of advice.
Yes, sir.
Be conscious of what you're doing, because your first act may be your last.
I know. Thank you, sir.
Protect what you have. It sounds good, and I hope you all the luck in
Thank
the
you
world.
very much. Thank you.
And I would second what Commissioner Johnson said, Jones, I'm sorry. Couple things just to raise. First of all, Grown Folks Tavern means that people like myself can't, it's not welcoming to people like me. That's a separate conversation we can have. Just a couple things. So are you currently employed by the state of Maryland?
I'm employed by the Department of Veterans Affairs, the federal government, yes.
And so will you be doing that in conjunction with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you feel comfortable that you'll
Yes,
be able to
sir.
manage both? And
Yes.
And just by way of reference, what we often see with these kinds of licenses, and I'm sure your good counsel has already warned you, is we often see afternoon violation dockets where BD7s in particular, late at night, we'll have inspectors or officers come in seeking to come into the tavern, and you may have one employee there, maybe two, and they say it's closed for the evening. That isn't permitted by the law. So please be advised, because we don't want to see it. I love seeing you, but we don't want to see you in the afternoon docket. So just make sure that the tavern is always open as long as the packaged goods
is open.
It's
Okay,
really
so-
important.
And card those kids.
Yes.
Most definitely, most definitely.
Words of wisdom. She's already told me that she plans to the extent that she can, discourage anyone under 30 from being in the facility.
That's why he can't go in.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so again, I believe she's demonstrated the need here, the seriousness of what she's engaging in, and I
think so.
appreciate your words.
And we wish her all the best. On the basis of the materials contained in the application, the testimony from Ms. Hammond, proffers from counsel, I would vote to approve the transfer.
I concur.
I concur. And one last piece of advice. We're here to help. The staff's here to help you. So if you have any questions, concerns, please feel free, because it's a new venture for you. And I appreciate your anxiety, perhaps, but our staff inspectors are always there, and your
Okay.
counselor knows that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Let me just thank Commissioner Jones. I just realized he's been here over 10 years this year, and I didn't get to say congratulations to the Iron Man of the Liquor Board. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
No exhibits for the record.
Sheriff Haywood and Jennifer Hernandez, Red Eye Shift LLC, trade name pending, 1725 Ponca Street. This is a Class BD7, a beer, wine, and liquor license, and Class AE, adult entertainment license. Request for transfer hardship extension under the provisions of 12-1705, small b.
Is Mel on vacation?
I mean, Mel's kind of always on vacation mentally, if you ask me. Don't tell him I said that.
I will.
Abraham Hurl on behalf of Red Eye Shift LLC. With me is, I believe it's Sharice and Jennifer are the two licensed applicants.
May we ask them to raise their right hands, please, ladies?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
You have a little packet to hand out. We're here for a hardship application. It was filed well in advance of the required kind of cutoff date. The board heard the original hearing in February. Cutoff date was August 1st. I think we filed something late July. The issue here is just a variety of kind of what I would call typical interruptions in terms of getting open. I personally would be happy to proffer that I spoke to BG&E for months to resolve issues here. They have 3 electrical meters, including one of them being an ultra-high voltage meter for whatever reason. And when the old tenant moved out and the new tenant moved in, there was some mix-up and everything was pulled, and it became just much more of a process than I would say normally is. And before you can really do work on the project, you have to have the power for the tools to do the work. Once things got underway, it just became a matter of trying to meet that deadline. I believe as of right now, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, my understanding from the file is that they have everything turned in. We just missed the deadline by 3 or 4 days, is what it came down to. So knew we was going to be close, filed the hardship application. I think we got everything done basically right then, but it was like, you don't want to have that be the situation. So we filed it, and I think we completed everything, I want to say about a week and a half ago, with the check going in for one of the tax balances with the city, roughly the 10th or 12th.
When do you think you'll open?
We hope that we are ready to open, honestly, as a bar today or tomorrow. We could quite literally, we believe, walk over to Liquor Board after this, pay the $200 to pick up the license, have inventory the moment it's delivered and start selling. If I may, I can ask Ms. Hernandez a couple of questions. Ms. Hernandez, is it true that you have an assistant manager ready in place to go?
Yes, we do.
And you have most of the staffing resolved at this time?
Yes.
You have no liquor inventory, though, correct?
No.
And you haven't fully hired the rest of the staff because we don't have the license, is that correct?
Exactly.
To your understanding, we are ready to open within a couple of weeks,
Yes.
but we're asking for 30 to 60 days just in case there's a hiccup in this process.
Right.
Okay, the commissioners have questions?
None.
I do not.
Okay. Based on the application, which is timely filed, the documents that have been presented, the proffers from counsel, and the testimony of Ms. Hernandez, I would vote to approve the hardship extension.
I concur.
I would concur, and I guess just for clarity, I would concur on approving this hardship for the liquor license and the adult entertainment license, because they're two separate.
The entertainment license,
Yes,
correct,
I agree.
absolutely.
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, maybe be excused.
You may.
Thank you.
Do you want this back? We only need one of them.
No,
Here, you might want to.
A lot of paper.
It's gonna bulk up the file. Thanks.
Feel free, Mr. Hurdle, to pass it out to everyone over.
The hurdle.
I don't
30.
think any interesting pictures in there, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. I call this exhibit for the record. Applicant Exhibit 1, business project package, including invoices, before and after photos. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, we have visitors this morning.
Yes.
Ms. Matthews and Mr. Kirk, would you like to come forward and introduce who we have with us this morning?
Welcome, folks. Come on up. Good morning. If you just come up, yeah, we're on TV here, so we need to get you into the microphones, okay? Your career is beginning today.
Oh, okay. For some of us, it's ended. Depends how you look at it.
So who did you bring with you today?
I'm Sarah Matthews, and I'm from the Ruth M. Kirk Recreation and Learning Center. And Delegate Kirk, of course, represented the 44th Legislative District, and this rec center is in her honor, and I am the public speaking teacher for the summer camp. And
Great.
this is her son, the director.
Good morning. And you brought some of your campers.
Yeah, we have some of our camp kids that spent the summer with us.
Would they like to come up and get on camera?
You guys want to get on camera? I told you
Come on
it
up.
cost you $100.
They can make a little noise, it's okay.
Give their names.
Come on, tell us who you are. Pull that microphone down.
My name is Jamel.
You forgot your last name?
Goodwin.
Okay, and how old are you, Jamel?
I'm 9 years old.
Can you let the guy behind you tell us who he is? Or- Come on up. Just tell us your name.
My name is Karan.
And Karan, how old are you?
8.
Well, welcome. Good to see you. How about the young lady behind you?
Come on up.
You are
Samari.
Samari. How old are you?
5.
9?
5.
5. Oh, okay. Okay. And behind you? What's your name, sir?
Walker.
Walker. How old are you?
6.
6. Okay. And the young lady behind you?
Madison.
Madison. How old are you?
5.
5. This is an old crowd. How about the fella back there in the orange shirt?
My name is Amari.
How old are you?
7.
You an Orioles fan? Is that why you got the orange shirt? Good last night. And young lady, how old are, what's your name?
Angel.
Angel, how old are you?
I gotta see Angel, I can't see.
5? Okay, I hope you have a growth spurt soon. Yes, sir.
My name Noah.
Uh-huh.
And I'm 9 years old.
Well, welcome. And you, young man?
My name is Christian
Christian.
Williams,
And how old are you, sir?
13.
Okay, and who's behind you?
Young man,
My name is Carlos DeBose. I'm Assistant Director for the Recreation Center. I run the camp.
Well, welcome. It's nice to have you. Kids, turn around and look up at the cameras and wave. And if you watch Channel 25 in the middle of the night sometime, you may see this on TV.
what's the address of the camp?
122 North Vincent Street.
You guys know,
Mountain Lexington.
you know anything about 215 North Calhoun Street?
Yeah, the Boys Club.
Boys Club.
Yeah. We grew up in there.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we grew up in the
That's
Boys
right.
Club.
Boys Club, me.
You already know I know that address.
Mr. Chairman, just a few weeks ago, the Ruth Kirk Family Fun Festival was just held in the Franklin Square Park, both on Saturday and Sunday. It's always a well-attended event, and I was the recipient of the Ruth Kirk Community Service Award.
Well, congratulations. That's great. Well, welcome to everyone. Thank you for coming. And not much left of summer, but I hope you enjoy a few days before school starts. And does that conclude our docket for today, Mr. Page?
It does, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. The board not being seated on the 31st of August. The board is in recess until Thursday, September the 7th at 10 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
10 a.m. Thank you.